Hi guys, happy Saturday. How's it going? I'm so thrilled and excited to be here to share some things with you guys. I have to always say this. Winners always win because they don't quit. Winners win because they don't quit. Winners don't always win, but you never will know whether you can win or not if you quit. Boy, did I say a whole lot there. So in anything that we do, we will have some dips. So let me tell you guys, when I first started Scentsy, just think to myself, if I had decided to quit because it was tough, because it was tough when I started, because the tools are nowhere near where they are now, we were not able to work our business from the phone. We had to work our business from a desktop because of the way that it was set up back then. It was not as easy. It wasn't that portable. But what if I decided that this was too hard and not stay with it? We have to choose our heart. It would have been hard for me not to have the extra income. It was hard to manage things, but it was also hard for me not to have the extra income. So we have to choose our heart. When I first started Scentsy, guys, it was so new and exciting, and I just took off like a jet. People were buying it because I was sharing it. And that's how I am. Whenever I'm excited about something or somebody, I'm going to shout it out. That's just the way I am. That's the way I'm programmed. I know a lot of people may not be that way, but I'm programmed to shout everything out. And I guess if you know my story and if you know my history, you'll probably understand why things excite me. It's when you haven't had much and things happen, you want to let everybody know it is very possible. So fast forward, when I started achieving things happen. Sometimes things get in our way and you wonder, why is there a curveball thrown at us? Like everything that you built up, all of a sudden something just come and hit you like a ton of brick and just throw you off course. So one thing about success, it is not a straight line. Success is not a straight line. Success is like that. Woo, woo. That's how success is. So sometimes things are thrown our way and you don't try to figure out how you're going to get out of that. The first curveball that was thrown at me was my son when he had a brain tumor. First curve. I was not about to allow that to get me off track. I had to work through that. Then once I worked through that, things got back on track again. Back on track, trying to figure it out. Start seeing some success. Then after that, things started going down again. Start losing a lot of leaders. I've lost so many directors, guys. I mean, when I say lost, I'm talking about they're not even with the company anymore. They're not even with Scentsy anymore. They just, for whatever reason, decide to step back and step out. But what happens whenever I'm out and about and I meet new people, there's so many people out here needing us because they always will say, I had a consultant, but she's not in the business anymore and I need one. So every time somebody decides to quit, you leave an opportunity open for somebody else. But we cannot get ahead if we're quitting. We cannot get ahead if we're taking a extended step back. I'm not saying that you should not take a pause because sometimes things happen in life where we may have to take a pause. I'm not saying don't take a pause because we're human. But I'm talking about an extended pause. Don't take an extended pause. So I remember in 2016, I set a goal for myself. Because when I promoted to star director, I stayed there for so long, like 7 years. I knew I wanted to be superstar director, but it was just, when I saw the numbers, like, oh my goodness, I can't do that because that number looked too big. It was too far from me. But when you take the big number and you chop it up into small pieces, it makes more sense. It's almost like it's more doable because you're breaking it up in small parts. So when you break that big number up into small parts and you take daily actions, that big number it's not big anymore. It becomes smaller and smaller. It becomes something that you can achieve. So I decided with dedication that I was going to aim for Superstar Director. It took a lot of sacrifices. It took a lot of things, training, sacrifices, preparation. It took all of that. But I did it. I did it. And anything that you want in life, you got to set a goal with a deadline. Now, when I said I was going to promote to Superstar Director, I gave myself a year to do that. So I started in January 2007, but I did it in 10 months. I shortened the time. It took me 10 months. So it took me 10 months to promote to Superstar Director. And I guess something happened here on Facebook. It gave me a thumbs up. Yay, yay. So don't quit, guys. Because if you quit, you'll never see the success. You'll never see the lives changing. You'll never see your life changing for your family. You'll never see it if you quit. I remember in 2020 when I had to drop Mama off at a nursing home, and I remember crying when I dropped her off because I dropped her off on March the 13th. That's when all the doors closed down because of the pandemic. And what was so frightening to me is to send Mama in this place where she was unfamiliar with anybody. She's been on her own. Then all of a sudden, she's got to be placed in a place where she don't know anybody. And here I am, her caregiver, having to release her to somebody else. I cried so hard in the parking lot. Because here Mama is fragile, scared. And I'm scared for her. And I'm scared for the fact that the doors are shut down, which means that that's going to affect my business. So with that affecting my business, that's going to affect my income. So what do? I sat there in that parking lot. I cried. I even drove to Cole's parking lot, and I was in tears. My daughter found me, and when she pulled up, I was so out of it, and I didn't even recognize her when she pulled up. And I developed a plan in a parking lot in tears. My plan was to sit there and put a post on Facebook is what I did. And I asked if anybody were interested in starting Scentsy at no cost. And my page blew up. It blew up. So much that I didn't even know what to do with these people when they raised their hand. I was just doing something. I always do stuff and try to figure it out later, what I'm going to do with it. But I had to change because all that I had known and everything I did with my business was gone. I couldn't work events anymore. That's all I knew how to do. I didn't know how to do home parties. I didn't learn. I didn't try to learn. I didn't know how to do bingo live. I didn't know. I didn't try to know. And sometimes when we close the door to an opportunity, if something else fails, we're like at a loss. So I taught myself how to do things that I was not willing to do before 2020. And boy, did I see a change in my business. My business skyrocketed. It went in a place that I never, ever dreamed of. During that time, I actually saw about 15 consultants right here, TTS, promote to director. I've never, ever seen that before. 15, 16, something like that. We had that many people to promote to director. It was amazing. And what happened, guys, we developed a system where people could start Scentsy at no cost, one. And during that time, people were at home. They had nothing else to do. They couldn't go nowhere. So whenever you post, people would see it and they buy. So we were literally posting and praying and people would buy. They were at home. They had nothing else to do. They want the house to smell good while they're indoors. Well, when things open up, like in 2020, like the latter part of 2021 and 2022, things start going down. Directors started losing their titles. They weren't getting paid at title, losing their titles. Then they got discouraged and they decided to step back. It's like an indefinite step back. Some of them even quit. Now, what I have to say, guys, is that this is a roller coaster. Things go up, they come down. They go up, they go down. But you got to stay the course. You know, like if you guys have investments, if you work investments, if you have investments, they always tell you to invest when things are affordable, when it's low. Because eventually it's going to go up. I love that thumbs up, guys. But if you don't ride it out, I've actually seen people run and go get their investments out because they're losing. No, you got to ride this bad boy out. If you don't ride it out, guys, you don't see the success on the other side. You got to have a vision to know that in any business, there are going to be peaks and valleys. You can't quit, guys, when you think things are down. You got to ride it out. Ride it out. And that's what we're doing. I'm now seeing the success come back with TTS, guys. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing a lot of you guys who took an extended step back come back up. But imagine what things would have been if we had not taken an extended step back. And a lot of us have various reasons why. Some of them are health related. Some of them because we've had a loss of family members. We've had loss of jobs. I mean, various things happen. Me, I'm one of them. I lost my job. But what I did, I made good use of what I have. And what we have, guys, is this business in our hands. It's in our hands, guys. What you do with it determines the outcome. I bring my family into my business. My family, my brother, my nephew, they're autistic. There is not a whole lot that they can do. But this brings them joy. They don't have to stay in the house. They get to come with me. My daughter's in dental school because of Scentsy. I tell you guys, this business is such a blessing. I can't say it enough. If I lost my job, guys, of 37 years, Scentsy was there for me when I needed it. Income disclosure needs to go down in the comments. But Scentsy was there for me when I needed it. I don't know where we will be without this Scentsy business, guys. I don't know where my family would be. So, guys, don't quit when you feel like things are tough, when you're hitting a snag, when people aren't buying or people not joining. Don't quit. The thing to do at that point is to find a new way to approach this. Because people are buying and they are joining. But what are you willing to do to change that? So in the big scheme of things, if you saw that and you had the vision for that, you would not stop. You would not take an extended step back and be in the shadows. And I don't care what it is that you've done with your business, guys. Shout yourself out. You could have just made a post and say, I'm going to shout this out that I made this post. I went live. It's all the little things that matters. Connect with other consultants. Join our connection calls. Join the accelerated leadership programs that we have. Scentsy has all types of training in the workstation and a live training on Tuesdays. There's lots of training on YouTube. We can totally be on training overload. There's so much of it out there. But what are you going to do? What do you plan to do to take action? It's there. It is there for us. We have prepared it, and we've actually put it on the plate for you, but you need to eat it and swallow it. It's out there, guys. It's there for us. Preparation was not there for me when I joined Scentsy. I had to create my own. And I understand it. 14 years in for me, guys, I'm not going anywhere. But I remember on this previous job that I had, it was terrible. Terrible. Leadership was terrible because I didn't have any. Didn't have none. I had to find my way there. Acknowledgments and celebration was zero. I didn't get any of that there. As a matter of fact, it was a mental beat down all the time about what you're not doing. You're not doing this. I'm not seeing you do that. When they received the acknowledgments and the accolades, no, I didn't get that. That was my work. Now I get acknowledged for my hard work in every way. I shout myself out, and Scentsy shout me out too. And that's what we do, guys. We help each other. We celebrate one another, and that's what we're learning. We're learning this. I didn't know this at the beginning. Nobody taught me anything about celebrating other consultants. I just started seeing people do it. I know that that's the thing to do, because the more we give, the more we receive back. We get it back in return. So guys, don't quit when it gets tough. Ride the waves, because on the end, you're going to benefit from this. Because every time you take an extended step back, like every time you quit, somebody else is winning. They're picking up the slack where you left it there. Don't leave money on the table. There are too many things that we can do that we have not done to make this work. Don't be afraid to bring your family into the business. If you don't have small kids, ask one of your customers, take a picture, send the customer something that they can snap a picture of so you can use it. There are so many different ways we can work this out. I don't have small kids anymore. I have a little grandbaby. So my family in Albuquerque, they love Scentsy. So they snap pictures of my grandbaby and they send them to me so I can use it. You got to work what you got, guys. Use the tools that you have. Starter kit. When people join Scentsy, they can totally work their business from a starter kit. You don't have to stock inventory. You don't have to do parties unless you want to. There's so many different ways to work this business. You don't have to work in events like I do unless you want to. There's so many ways of doing it. And that's what I love most about Scentsy, because it's so laid back with the requirements. But if you want it, you got to go get it. It's not going to come to you. Sometimes it'll come to you. But for the most part, if it's coming to you, it's because you laid it out there already. You build it up to make people see you as the real person who really loves what you do. But guys, let's go get it. But don't take these extended step backs if you want success in your business. You got to go for it. You got to roll them sleeves up and let's get busy. We got a lot of houses that make smell good. We got a lot of cars that go make smell good. We got a lot of laundry to do. We want people to know we sell laundry products. They don't know this unless we tell them. Let's go, guys. We can do this. We totally can do this, guys. And I'm so proud of you because I'm seeing the progress. I'm seeing you guys rise. I'm seeing you guys earn incentive trips. I'm seeing you guys earn the annual sales and annual mentor. I'm seeing you guys get your titles back. I'm seeing you get paid a title. I'm seeing the progress. I'm seeing the efforts. Even if you hadn't gotten where you want to be, I'm seeing the efforts because I'm seeing you show up more now than you did before. Because it was a little discouraging, especially for those of you who joined during 2020, because you didn't know what to expect. You thought that this was the norm. It is not the norm to post and pray. That was in 2020. That was not normal, very unusual. So the real way that this thing works is that you got to go work. You got to go to work. But it's okay to go to work and feel excited about what you've done. Feel proud and be proud of yourself because you did it. You totally did it. You didn't give up. You kept going. You rolled them sleeves up. Let's go get it. Okay, guys, love you. Happy Saturday.